Hello, everyone. It is my favorite day of the week again. It is Twin Flame Tuesdays with Gabrielle Washington. Hey, girl, look how beautiful you are today.
Thank you, love, and you are too. You're just glowing.
Oh, well, so are you. That is your color, girl. That is your, and I love when you wear your hair that way.
Thank you, thank you. I didn't even tell you. You gotta look at my new logo. I changed my logo colors to yellow as well.
Did you
Yeah,
really?
I did. I'm gonna tell you that.
I tell you what, we've got so much to talk about at the end of the show.
Yeah.
All the changes you're doing, and yeah, and I mean, we're both making so many changes right
Yes.
now, but today we're talking about how well twin flame is about relationship, but not all relationships are about twin flame, but all things are about relationship.
Yes.
So here we do talk relationship, absolutely, and we're definitely going to talk twin flame today, but we are going to talk relationship, and so this is for everyone because all things are relationship. You can't have oneness. You can't everything can't all be one and not everything be about relationship. And that's the cornerstone to everything, to healing, to having, to being, to glowing, to loving Tuesdays, to loving every moment of life, to all of it is understanding that everything is oneness and our uniqueness matters so much, but to be glowing and shining and all those things in our uniqueness, we have to understand relationship.
Yes. Yes. And that goes to that we are just by creatures of habit. We are union. We want to be together. We want to have communication. We have to have this union and bond. So that's just in general.
um Oneness doesn't mean isolation.
Yeah.
Oneness is I'm always talking about how 1 plus 1 doesn't mean this. It's
Yeah.
1 plus 1 equals 3, because if we do this, then that's unstable,
Yeah. Yeah.
But at the same time, 1 plus 1 does mean this
Yeah.
because we are interconnected. We
Yes.
don't lose ourselves in one another. We become exponential in one another. And that is what relationship is. Relationship is not losing yourself in any one or anything. It is becoming exponential. It's not even becoming double yourself. It's becoming exponentially you. And that's what relationship is, and that's what oneness is. And so that's the purpose of relationship in twin flame, but that's the purpose of all relationship.
Yes.
So exactly where did you want to take us today? Starting with twin flame though, because I know we want to talk about twin flame because I
Yeah.
know you had some of that, but I know you're going to go way beyond twin flame because you can't talk relationship and just talk twin flame.
Yes. Yes. So I wanted to go in the directions. This past Sunday, we were talking about triggers. I did a live on triggers.
Triggers.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that's in the air because I know yeah, everybody talking twin flame is talking about the trigger thing. So that's in the air.
It's definitely in the air. It's definitely in the
Okay.
air. And while on my live on TikTok, my boyfriend came out the house and he was in his triggered in his energy, and that triggers being, yes, being thrown my way. So I was able to handle it in the best way possible because I have the tools and I know myself. I don't let other people energy get me out of my own energy. So I was able to handle that in the best way. But the day I didn't even know I was going to talk about triggers. That morning I woke up, I didn't know what my topic was going to be. I said, Spirit, give me the topic I need to talk about today. Spirit was like, triggers. I'm like, okay, we can do triggers. Not knowing it was going to be a prime example on live.
Not knowing that you were going to be given the opportunity to do it.
Yes,
Until
on
time.
live.
Oh, I'm gonna let him just come out and just yeah,
Yeah,
just let you do your thing for
let me do
people.
my thing. Yes.
Let you show your stuff on TikTok. Well, that helps us talk about your TikTok career too later.
Yes, yes. Yes.
Your TikTok career was just blooming, girl.
And you know what? And it's because like I tell everyone on my channel, if you're following me, you're not a follower. You're a leader. You're
Yeah,
following your own divine guidance, and I'm just a guide there to help you to discover your true self. So
girl, your TikTok is amazing, but
thank
we'll get
you.
to that later too. But I just love how you're being guided with
Yeah.
and the relationship that you are forming there with everyone.
Yes. 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 So, what does triggers mean in a relate? Well, first of all, I want to talk about the purpose of relationships.
Uh-huh.
Talk about that. The purpose of relationships is really to show us who we are at our core.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes,
We
yes,
have to know that first. That's the
yes,
first relationship. Yeah.
yes. It's the first relationship, and
Yeah.
and for so long, because of the programming and the trauma and stuff that we've been through, we don't know who we are at our core.
Mm-mm.
No.
We're taught it's not about you. If you make it about you, you're selfish. You're
Yeah.
this, you're that. And that is so bass backwards because if you don't make it about you first, you can't get it right with anyone else.
Facts. That is true. When you're home and your home is dirty and not taken care of, you can't have a relationship with anyone else because you don't know where your foundation stands. That's when other people's energy can come in and intertwine with yours. And if you're not sure in your own beingness and oneness, then you can lose yourself in a relationship. That's why we lose ourselves.
Absolutely. We have to know who we are so we don't get lost. So then we're healthy enough to be in a relationship to begin with.
Yes, yes, yes.
You can say, I respect that about you. You can have that opinion all day long. I'm good with your opinion. It's not going to change mine. I can even meet you in the middle on some of that.
Yeah,
Still
yeah,
not change who I am.
yes,
Still
yes.
know who I am at my core.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
And I want to say this especially. This might be, it's not really going off topic, but I want to address the feminine energy, the divine feminine.
Oh,
Yes, address that because I feel that needs to come up, especially as women. We've been taught to give our energy to the man. We've been taught to let them lead, but they can lead, but not blindly. We've been taught to do everything, put everybody else above us, and not take care of our own well being. And that's not how the divine feminine is supposed to work. The divine masculine is supposed to be that security blanket. The divine feminine is supposed to spread her wings and be able to do what she needs to do and create. Because when the woman, when she's in her full divine power, she brings the kingdom and flourish. She flourishes the kingdom.
you know what you just said epitomizes the issue with transcendent men.
Yeah.
And the book that is coming out, the next book in the Find Your Voice series, is Transcendent Men. And that is the issue they are having in being identified healthily as transcendent men, is because their divine feminine is being seen as acquiescing to everyone else around them. So the strong women around them with masculine qualities, they're being seen as you're letting the woman rule you.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, they're not. They're gentlemen.
Yeah.
They're showing their emotions. They're kind. They're understanding. They're all those things. And so if they have an overly masculine woman, by that I mean one who's in their divine masculine and you know
Yeah.
taking advantage of that. They're like, wow, there's a guy he's a pushover or whatever. No, he's not a pushover. He's showing a balance in his energy and it's being taken advantage of. It's not being seen correctly. But it's also, yeah, that is the issue at hand. There is we have both of those energies in us and we have to balance them within ourselves. And that is the beauty of it, is the divine feminine energy within each of us. That is its role in men, just as it is in women. The way you described it in the female, it's not just in the female, it's in all of us.
It's in all of us, yeah.
Yeah, that is the role, period. But that is what the men who are coming forward with their divine feminine energy, that is the struggle they are having, is they're being seen as, well, you're a weak man. You're not a weak man. It takes a strong man to stand up in the world where he's been told, you can't cry, you can't let a woman talk to you that way. You can't be nice to a woman. You can't excuse me?
Yeah.
Excuse me? I grew up in one of those households, and you better, because I'm not living in that again.
Yeah.
So, that is the strong man that can do that.
Yes.
But unfortunately, a lot of women grew up with, if a man is that way, he's a weak man. And so a lot of women, and I'm not putting them down, I'm saying that's their programming. It's like, well, I can push him around.
Yeah.
He needs me to push him around. He needs a strong woman. He's a weak man,
Yeah.
or whatever, And it's a misunderstanding that, one, it has nothing to do with gender at all. Those energies are supposed to be in us, and we're supposed to be balanced, each of us in those, know who we are, work together, each of us balanced in those, and then we're exponentially great, each of us, and then as a couple, exponentially great.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
so, yeah. So
And that's the foundation that leads us back to the foundation of relationships.
that's it. 1 plus 1 equals 3, but we have to be 1 plus 1 equals 3 within ourselves first.
Yes.
Divine feminine, divine masculine. Then whole and complete as a divine feminine, divine masculine, balanced. And then do that together with someone. So you're exponential in yourself, exponential in relationship. I mean, and this just keeps exponentially.
And when we talk about this divine feminine and masculine energies, and the birds are really chirping and agreeing.
I know the birds and the bees are in them.
They're like, yeah. But when we talk about the divine feminine and masculine within all of us, that's because our creator is not just masculine. Our creator is divine feminine and masculine.
Absolutely.
So we have to learn how to live this template within us and balance these energies within ourselves.
Absolutely. That is it. We are, because we are one.
Yeah.
That energy is one. We are that energy. And there is this separating out that we did of these energies. And now we are learning that no, they're integrated. They're integrated.
Yes.
And when we learn to integrate them, that is how we are exponentially ourselves and whole.
Yes.
And whole means healed. Because we use that word a lot. We use the word healed a lot. And healed makes it sound like we were somehow
broken,
sick, all those things.
Yeah.
But that is wholeness. And the wholeness is oneness. But we're each uniquely one, because what balanced in divine feminine, divine masculine energy looks like for each of us is a little different.
Yeah.
And it's situationally different. Yeah.
It's like putting pieces of a puzzle together. Like you have the big picture and you see the picture on the box. When you open it up, you have all these different pieces. Each piece is uniquely designed the way it needs to be, but it all plugs and play together. And then you get the big picture once you have all the parts. So that's what heal really means. When you're doing this healing work, you're gaining back those aspects of yourself that has been lost or from pain and trauma or whatever is going on in your life through this lifetime or the past lifetime. You're bringing back those parts and pulling back the pieces of yourself and becoming oneness within yourself again.
You're taking all the fragments.
Yes.
And you're putting them back together. You're reintegrating. You're picking yourself. You're calling yourself back to yourself. You're calling your energy back to yourself. Yeah, and that's what relationship is. So first and foremost, we have to do that with ourselves.
Yes. And what in relationships are not meant to complete us. We have to be complete within ourselves. Yeah. That's twin flame. Any relationship is not meant to complete us. We're meant to be complete within ourselves. And what relationships will do, they will amplify whatever is going on inside of us. Whether it's chaos, it will amplify the chaos.
Yeah.
It's love, it will amplify the love. Whatever it all comes from your own internal universe, what is going on inside of you.
Absolutely. If you are a chaotic mess, you are going to attract a relationship, whether it's your twin or whoever, because you're going to attract your twin in when they're a chaotic mess.
Yes, when they're a chaotic mess, yeah.
That's when you're going to attract them in. You're both going to be chaotic messes, because
yeah.
So, but whatever energy we're putting out, that's what we attract in.
Yes.
And so first we have to get ourselves, what do I want to feel? What do I want to be? What do I want to experience? Get yourself there and put that energy out and attract that in.
Yes.
But absolutely, that is what we want to do, because then it is an amplification of self. That is absolutely it. And nobody really wants to be by themselves. I spend a lot of time alone, and I need that time, just as you do. We need the alone time.
Yeah.
All need it.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to be alone all the time.
Yeah, of course. We're social in nature.
Yeah.
In general, we're oneness. So of course we want to be with other aspects of ourselves. Yeah.
And twin flame, you absolutely want to be with your twin. It is the other part of you. And if they're here now and you know that, I mean, my gosh, yeah. And
yes.
You feel their energy even when they're not there. You feel their energy. Yeah. So
yes. So the second part I want to talk about is, what does triggers in relationships mean? So we kind of just hit on that. We kind of just hit on that some.
Yeah, so let's talk about this TikTok moment here. This big Academy Award in the making TikTok. But TikTok's going to end up with the Academy Award category. I just know it. I've watched you, girl, and I every performance, I'm like that was award winning.
Thank you. It's just me getting into, like, when I tell people, like, when you discover your purpose and discover what you're meant to do, that you just flow. You're just in a flow of nature, like, you know.
Well, you're a TikTok girl because I watch it. I'm just like, holy smokes, I don't have time to do that.
It's a lot of.
I just need to hand Gabrielle something to say. Here, will you mention me? Will you hold the sign up and say, and my friend Maisha?
Yes, girl.
So triggers.
The triggers, yeah, the triggers. So the triggers in relationships are to show us the parts of us that needs to be healed, are to show us those wounds inside of us. Because what will happen if we're not healed and we haven't started doing the healing work, and then we'll attract someone in our life, whether it's our twin flame, a soulmate, or whoever we're attracting in our life, they will come into our life on that same frequency. That means they have not done the healing work. They are not healing. They haven't done it. So when you guys meet in that energy and you all are both not healed, then here it comes, this loop of triggering. And if you guys cannot sit within your oneness within yourself, like, we can't force people to heal. When we sit within our oneness within ourselves, and when something comes our way, and we're looking at it, because no one can trigger you. You can only get triggered by what they say, because if it didn't have a residency within you, whatever they said wouldn't even bother you.
Yeah.
It wouldn't even bother you.
Yeah, it wouldn't bother you. Somebody
You'd like,
say, yeah, you'd be like,
yeah,
whatever.
yeah, because it doesn't resonate with you. And the only reason why you're triggered is because whatever they said, whatever that can be spewing towards your way, we all know whatever people are spewing out of their mouth is a reflection of what's going on inside of them. So whatever they're spewing towards your way, if it didn't have any resonance within your own home, then you wouldn't feel like, okay, well, they're attacking. You wouldn't put yourself in victim mode.
You're right. You are so right. I mean, it's like, oh, ouch. Yes, you're so right. But that is true. That is absolutely true. So, but does that mean then that we've got to be totally healed and whole ourselves so that we can't ever be triggered by the twin or by anyone before we can be in a relationship? Because if it does, wait, this kind of sounds like my ducks in a row vlog the other day, and we're the only duck there is.
Yeah.
So
yeah, well, no, and that's the beauty of relationships. Relationships bring, the thing is not to get lost in the trigger. That's where we get ourselves beat up at. We get lost in the trigger. We start to blaming others. We don't take the mirror and look at outside of ourselves to see what's going on. Relationships can be some of the most transformative energies at play, especially with your twin flame or, any relationship, because when it brings up these triggers inside of you, if you go into the energy of looking at them as, why is this vibrating with me? Why do I have some kind of feeling about this? And you start to exit your own internal guidance system. You started going inside of yourself, looking inside yourself, asking yourself, your unconscious mind is going to start revealing to you, okay, well, it might be this. You might not feel worthy enough. You might not feel loved enough. Then that's when you started looking at yourself and started loving yourself, feeling that worth, started doing what you have to do within yourself. It's all about a mirror, reflection of what's going on inside.
You mean we're not supposed to say, why are they making me feel that way? Why are they doing that to me? Why do they always do that? Every time you come around, that happens to me. You do this to me. You make me feel that way. Do you know you did? We're not supposed to do that. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying. And you know why not?
Really? We're not supposed to do that. We're supposed to use them like a mirror, so we put the lipstick on right and we don't cut ourselves shaving. Is that what we're supposed to do?
Yes.
How enlightened of you. It's only taken us how many years to figure this out, girl?
I know. And the reason why we're not supposed to do that, because listen, when you tell someone you've made me, it makes you feel small inside. It makes you feel little. And the reason why it makes you feel little, because you gave away your power.
Yeah, you just said that somebody else has the ability to make you something, when the truth is we came here to decide all of that for ourselves.
Yeah.
Because people misunderstand what giving away your power means.
Yes.
Yeah, what you just did is you came here to be you, and you just said, I'm not me because I'm letting you define who I am. Yes. We define who we are.
Yes.
And we defined that before we ever got here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And that's what this whole journey is about. It's about coming back to oneness with ourselves, knowing ourselves, even through all the chaos that has been on in our life and throughout the galaxies. We're learning more about ourselves and how to manage our energy. And we are energetic beings. And if we can't hold strong within our own energy and allow and let our energy go with someone else's or whatever, then we're not being true to ourselves.
Absolutely. And each of us has to be able to be true to ourselves. One, first and foremost, for ourselves. But the truth of the matter is, for every other being incarnate at this time, we are responsible in relationship to them to be ourselves.
Yes.
If not, the butterfly effect of that is nobody else is getting from our energy what they're supposed to be getting.
Yes.
And
Yes.
it is selfish to not be who you're supposed to be.
Yes.
And show up in the energy you're supposed to show up in. We have taught this so backwards. We've taught this so backwards. And we wonder why the world has been upside down, and when we've been in dense energies when we were meant to be in high energies. We've wondered why, that we've been taught God is love and everything is love, and do unto others as you would have done unto you is what we've been said is the good things, but don't do that.
Yeah, we do something different.
Yeah, but do something different. Yeah. But don't really do that because, well, that's foolish. You'll be weak. You'll be, we've been told those things, but then we've been told, but don't really do them because that you'll be selfish if you do that. You'll be weak if you do that. You'll be this, you'll be that.
Yeah.
But hold on. I was so confused as a little girl because I was raised one by an atheist.
Yeah.
But, at the same time, the world was supposed to be you were honest, you were good to people, you were kind to people, and it was, you were supposed to love yourself too, and all of those things. But yet, if you really did those things, no, you weren't really supposed to do that.
Yeah.
Well, hold on, which is it?
Yes.
I was so confused.
Yes.
It was like, well, this is what we say, but it's not what we do.
Yes. Yes. It's contradicting. It's contradicting.
Yeah.
Very much so. Just like even in the teachings of when they talk about God and Jesus, and because I come from a Christian background,
right?
So first they will say, God is a forgiving God, a loving God, and all this stuff. Then they'll go into the energies. He's a vengeful God. Like what? When I was a kid, I'm like, how can you be loving unconditionally and all this stuff, but then you're vengeful? That just doesn't make sense.
Never made sense to me either.
Never made sense either. Never did.
No. Never did. Yeah, it's like, and he's bipolar.
I know.
Either that or whoever wrote it is. That doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense, and that's why it's so important to have discernment within yourself when you read and go through anything, because it will be layers there through our own consciousness, through our own wounds that we built in our own self, that is going to be written within anything, and you have to be able to decipher that and have discernment within yourself. And you only know how to do that is if you know yourself at your core and you know what your higher self is saying and the energies at play. So that's
right. Yeah, because the whole point is we came here to be who we're supposed to be, so that energy goes out, so everyone can be who they're supposed to be, so we all have the life we're supposed to have. And that is life was never meant to be hard. That is the lie.
Yeah.
That is the lie. Heaven is here on earth. That is the truth.
Yes.
And then we transition over, and then transitioning over is not a bad thing either.
No.
Yeah. So that's where the lies have all been. Is we came here and we were told, and it's going to be hard.
Yeah.
No. We've made it hard. We've made it hard with the lies that we've told.
Yeah.
Or have been told. Yeah. And when I say it that way, I make it sound like people did it on purpose. There may have been some who did.
Yeah.
But for the most part, we all just believed it because it's what we were told, and we were told, and we were told, and we were told. It was the societal programming.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the programming. And when you can wake up and identify the programming, identify what programming does not work, does not serve you, you can uproot those programming and stick in a programming that does work for you. When that works with your higher being, when it works with your blueprint of your soul.
Which is, so many people talk about, first we had the terminology of like death to the ego, which makes no sense because ego is what keeps us safe and is proud of ourselves. Matter of fact, it sounds a whole lot like what we don't need to do.
Yeah.
No. Then we have, which of course the book I talked about, transcending the ego. Well, hold on a second. If we're just going to jump over it, that's not that's not exactly it either, because then we're skipping part of ourselves.
Yes.
So hold on a second. We need to integrate it or be able to interface with it.
Yes.
Hold on a second. That means we've got to reprogram it. And who's been saying that for a long time now? The quantum physicists.
Yes.
So this isn't woo woo. This isn't out there. This is science, folks.
Yeah, it's science.
It's science. So science and creationism, because we believe we are created conscious energy.
Yes.
Science and creationism are not at odds with each other, but you don't have to believe in any particular thing to understand that we're energy. And so we're not advocating that you have to believe in a particular thing other than that we are energy. The science of it,
Yeah.
it all matches.
You know,
so, yeah.
The proof is there. The proof is in the pudding.
The proof is in the pudding and in the atoms and protons and electrons and neutrons. And,
Yes, yes, yes.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Primordial pudding.
Yes, the primordial. Yes, I love that.
Primordial pudding. Yeah.
I love that.
We're only to be talking science this deep.
I know.
But that's relationship. That is what relationship is. Because so many people think relationship is, oh, are you frozen? No, you're back. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So many people think that relationship is all the mushy stuff and all the, and it is.
It is.
Yes.
It is.
But triggering doesn't have to be all this emotional stuff. Triggering can be logical. Triggering can be, hold on a second, they didn't make me feel anything.
Yes.
I felt it because of something in me.
Yes. So and I'm glad you said that, because I had a question on TikTok and I did answer it. And I was on my healer series. And so the lady had asked me about why is it so hard for healers to be in relationships? And because we are healers, our energy in general, our blueprint here is to heal the planet, is to bring healing into this environment. So we will trigger, we don't even have to say anything. Our energy alone will sometimes trigger other people's demons. And those internal demons are those wounds and traumas that they're not ready to address and look at. And so the reason why sometimes it's so hard, because especially if you're a healer and you have not done the work and not doing the work, you will get yourself caught in this loop of being triggered and going back and forth, and then it's just study draining. So you feel like you're drained and you're not able to do what you need to do. But when you learn how to heal and go inside of yourself and look at these aspects and become whole and integrate with these aspects, then you're able to have the foundation within yourself and to not let anything shake your internal gauge. And when you do that, you show people around you how to walk, how to heal themselves, how to stand up in their own sovereignty. And that's what we're here to do as a whole.
Absolutely. And so sometimes the reason it's hard for healers to be in relationships is we trigger people because we because we get to the point where we start standing up and saying, hold on a second, I can't do this anymore. That's not okay with me. Or we go a little back and forth with it. I know that's what I've been in my life. Yeah. I've had some things that I've been like very clear about and very easy to hold the line on. And others where I've been like, okay, I'm a little shaky on this, or I'm a little scared on this, or I'm a little, and so I would back up on. And we all do that. And so cleaning stuff up, we're all like that. But when we are healers or whatever, we have some things that we just, the energy emanates out from us even when we're shaky.
Yeah,
because we're born high vibrational. The energy comes out and people are like, that's that perimeter thing. It's the boundaries, that's the perimeter. People feel the parameters of our energy.
Yes.
And that triggers them. Even if we're not doing anything to do it, they feel it. And they're like, can't touch that. Don't want to mess with that, My dad, the atheist, there was a little Pentecostal woman up the road from us, and he would say, don't want to mess with her. She's got powers. And I'd be like, Daddy, what powers? You know, he said, I don't know, but she's got powers. He didn't have to go up the road to feel, her perimeters were, I don't know, but she's got powers. I was like, Daddy, what powers does she have? I don't know, but she's got powers.
That's coming from an atheist, so he can tell the energy.
He can tell the energy. She's got powers.
So the next part I'd like to get in is how to handle these triggers.
Yes. How do we?
Yes. So first, like we just got into saying, doing the work. You have to start facing your own internal shadows. You have to start going inside of yourself and start asking yourself these questions. When things that rise up in your environment, like I actually like look at them now as opportunities. When something comes, it might not feel good in the midst of it. Might not feel good in the midst. I'm not gonna say it's not gonna feel good, but you need to sit there and go through those. Don't try to shuffle them and push them down, those emotions and stuff down. Let those emotions come up because they're coming up for a reason. To look at, look at not with a judgment eye, with an unconditional love eye. Even if you might have said something, might have done something, don't judge yourself. We're learning. Like, and that's the one thing I get my clients to get back in the energy of a child. Look at this world as your playground. You're learning about this world. Even though we're adults, we think we know everything. No, we do not. No, we do not. And when children are learning, we give them this freedom to be like, okay, yeah, baby, you're learning, fine. But we don't give ourselves that same freedom to do that. And that's where a lot of time it comes back into reparenting ourselves, reparenting our own inner child, getting back in tune with those aspects of ourselves, especially if we didn't have that frequency of a child of being comfort, of being loved, of being sheltered. So we have to get back in tune with those energies within ourselves and do the reliving and the relearning and the rebuilding the relationship between ourselves. And that's what all this healing work is talking about, bringing those aspects of yourself that you lost along the way and integrating them back within yourself, bringing the puzzles to the pieces back together. So when something comes in your awareness and you get triggered by something somebody says, don't go lashing off, saying, oh, you did this, that. You can set your boundaries. You don't have to take the abuse that they're directing your way. You can set your boundaries and say, look, I'm not, however you want to say it. Like in my situation that day, my boyfriend came out here acting up. I'm like, I'm not doing this with you. I'm not, and I said it as calmly, plain, I'm not doing this with you. Because I saw what it was, and it had nothing to do with me. So I let you have your fit and your energy, has nothing to do with me. And when you come back to your realization of whatever has happened, you have to give people the time to come back to their own realization. We can't make them come to a realization. That's what we try to do. We try to make people come to something, and it's like you're trying to make another conscious being do something you want them to do. They have to have their own internal, okay, well, I might have went off the handle. I might have said some things I shouldn't have said, and let them come back. And when you do that, that's how you're building connections in a relationship. Because you're able to start sitting and talking. And like my boyfriend that day, we had a conversation at night. I was going to go live again at night, but we started having a conversation, and we had our own little one-on-one time together. But we were able to sit.
Okay, I'll leave that alone. We'll talk later. I'll leave it alone.
But we were able to sit, and he was like, well, I'm sorry, I did lash out. That was wrong with me. Those are some things that I'm looking at myself. I'm looking to heal it myself. But in the beginning of our relationship, when we were so caught up in wounds, we weren't able to do that. It was just back and forth. You did this. You did that. No. And it was nothing being solved. Nothing being solved. Yeah. But when you can start letting people do their own work, you can't force them. You stand up in your own energy and your own sovereignty, and you look at it for what it is, then you will see how things will start moving. And you have communication, and the lines are being open. You're bridging the gap between each other. Yeah. It's very powerful in any relationship, family, whatever, lovers, but especially with twin flames. Because you're bridging that gap that has been brought on through the illusion of this programming, because you all are oneness.
There's so much in there. You talk about the inner child. Yeah. Let's get to that. Okay. I think it is a myth that the inner child is ever supposed to have grown up. Yeah. Because think about this. Only so much of our energy can be embodied.
Yes.
So the frequency, the amount of frequency of all of the light beingness that we are is always going to be compared to the amount that there is the child. And so there's always going to be the learning to be done, the growing up to be done. So this is the child of that. This is the analogy would be the we're the lowest part of the frequency. Yes. This physical body can only contain the lowest frequency.
Yes.
So
yes.
we are the child of that light being, if you want to use that analogy.
Yes.
So
yes.
The inner child is always here.
Yes.
That whole thing of, well, we've got to take care of the inner child. We got to go back and nurture the inner child. We've got to raise the inner child. The inner child's always going to be there.
Yeah. We have to learn how to be one with our inner child. And throughout all the pain and stuff has been brought on when your inner child wasn't been able to be nurtured as a young child. You have to reparent that and do that work and tell that inner child that you're safe now. You don't have to live in chaos anymore.
Yes. And don't lose your childlike wonder.
No, no.
Don't stop playing. Don't stop having fun. Don't stop believing. Do not stop believing. Do not stop knowing that, yeah, life is supposed to be beautiful. Don't
Yes.
stop believing, yes, I'm supposed to have what I want. Yes, I'm supposed to be loved. Yes, I'm supposed to, yes. I'm supposed to have good friends. I'm supposed to have this. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Because the answer is supposed to be yes.
Yes. The answer's supposed to be yes. Yes.
Yes. Because if it's in your heart to begin with,
Yes.
if you have gone into your heart space, what do I want to feel? What do I want to be? What do I want to experience? Those are only going to be yeses.
Yes.
And
Yes.
that energy out is what's going to come back.
Yes.
So, and it's only going to be good things because you're never going to want bad things for yourself.
No.
And so it's never going to be selfish stuff.
Yes, and I'm glad you said that because I was looking at I think it was something on YouTube or something, and that was on Facebook. I think I posted, and it was an exercise that talked about going into your inner child, but talking down to your inner child, and it was a beautiful exercise because the exercise was giving you because you can't do it. You legitimately can't do it. So it was trying to get you to say, go to your inner child, tell your inner child they're worthless and all this stuff, and you yourself can't do it because you can't do that to yourself.
Yeah.
You just can't do that to yourself. So when we are aware that we are doing this to ourselves unconsciously because we're agreeing with the programming, we're agreeing with society is telling us how to be and all this stuff, and we're not nurturing that inner child and telling them that they can flourish, they can be free, they can be, beautiful and bountiful and just experience life, then we are doing that. So if you can't physically say that to your inner child, why unconsciously doing it? Become aware of what you're doing, and then start to love in the aspect. So it was a beautiful exercise.
That's kind of my ducks in a row thing the other day. Just once you do that for yourself, then all the ducks come in a row.
Yeah.
So absolutely. So the inner child is supposed to be there. Actually, we are the light beings inner child, if you will, and they're wanting to flourish in the physicality through us.
Yes.
Because that is why we're here. Is the universe wants to experience through us in individuality. Yeah.
I just got a download.
All right.
A child. So that's why we come here as children.
Yes.
Our true essence, we are this being that is just playful and one of life and just magical. And we come here in this child form to it. That's why children are so good teachers.
Yes. Childlike essence, and we are to stay in that energy.
Yes.
So plain a child can understand. I mean, that is the point of this.
Yes.
Because the higher vibrational we go, the more complex that energetic understanding gets.
Yes.
That's why that energy wanted us to reintegrate the mind so we can begin functioning again as one. Because we've been told we're supposed to live eternally. We are supposed to live eternally. That energy wants this body to get back to where we are living eternally, the way we're supposed to.
Yes.
So eternally, they can experience the physicality they're supposed to with the heaven on earth that we're supposed to have.
Yes.
And childlike play and fun and beautiful life we came here to have, the vibration frequency we came here to be in.
Yes.
And they're going, we're the flow state you talked about that we talked about before we came on. When we are in complete connection with that, okay, this is what I want to be, feel, and experience. Yeah, we do too. Oh, there's a whole joke that goes with that. I love how there's never a coincidence. We do too. And so then they help. And then it's like the energy then comes back down to you. Oh, that's how we do that. That's how we do that. That's how we do that. And then that's how we end up in flow. And it's easy for us to do. And we enjoy doing it. It's not hard then because it comes easy to us. And we are healthy, happy, whole, and complete because we're not stressed. We're not wearing ourselves out. Our fight, and freeze isn't turned on and all of those things. We're healthy and we can be that eternal being that we're supposed to be.
Yes.
So we are the childlike essence of all of that. And the entire light being that we are gets to enjoy that. It gets to enjoy the creativity, the sexuality,
Yeah.
all of those things. It gets
Yeah.
to enjoy all of that at
Yes.
this level,
Yes.
the human
Love.
level, the
Yeah.
human being level.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
That's actually when you did that. It's actually one of the exercises I get my clients to do too. Is to go back into the inner child. Go back to your inner child before all the chaos, before everything has been brought on you. When you were just everything was just beautiful and just free, and you just because your inner child hold a lot of your blueprint of what you came here to do and what you were meant to embody. And when you can get back in tune with that inner child, that voice. I remember when I was a kid, I used to always envision this utopia, this heaven on earth. Everything was just so beautiful. We were all getting along. People was just, everyone was just, the whole family, earth was just vibing. And I used to remember experiencing it as a kid. And as programming started getting programmed in me, this world's a bad place and all this stuff. And I started losing those aspects of myself. And that vision didn't come back into me until probably a year ago now, when that vision was re-downloaded. I was doing all this trauma work and inner child work. And I'm like, F that. I'm not studying this illusion when it tells me this is supposed to be a corrupt world. It's supposed to be a messed up world. My higher self, the God within me, gave me a vision to bring heaven on earth and how beautiful this world is supposed to be. And that is what I'm going to embody, and I'm going to live that. And I've been living into that energy and vibing and thriving in that energy every day. I try to maintain and work on that energy every day. And that's what I do. And so go back into that essence of a little child, the innocence of what you came here for and what you're meant to embody, and they hold the keys and codes to what you came here to produce and what you came to be.
That is the keys and codes. You
Yeah.
are so right. When we talk about these downloads we get in, these keys and codes, that is unlocking those within ourselves. That's what those are. And it is so ironic that you said that, because I was the same way as a little girl, and I would argue with adults when they would say, well, that they can't stay that way. And I would say, that doesn't make any sense. Of course they can stay that way. Why couldn't they?
Yeah.
So what happened to me, I didn't lose that part.
Yes.
What happened to me was I got into the political and all of that.
Yeah.
So my son a few years ago, he's like, Mom, I see the logic in everything you're saying, but I'm not ready to give up on utopia.
Yeah.
And my son is brilliant.
Yeah.
So I looked at him and I said, son, because I was always very utopia minded too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd never given up on the love and the relationship, all of that. I'd never lost all of that.
Yeah.
But the world scene stuff, I got very practical.
Yeah.
Very programmed on. Okay.
Yeah.
And when he said that, I mean, it just, everything in me just, I mean, I've got chills now. I can feel the dragons now. I can feel no, she's not going back there. No, I'm not going back there.
Yeah.
But it was like, hold on a second. He's right. You know, that is the very thing that I refuse to give up on, the utopia of relationships, of people, of believing in happiness and believe. I refused all that. So why in the world do I believe that the world is supposed to be in chaos?
Yes.
I don't believe everything else is supposed to be.
Yeah.
And then whenever I couldn't take the pain medication anymore, and I had the quantum emotional healer say, so now what have you got to lose?
Yeah.
I'm like, hold on a second. Why have I bought into the fact that health is supposed to be in chaos and there's nothing we can do about that?
Yeah.
Why have I bought into that? You know, hold on a second. Hold the phone. There is something messed up here. And so, do I have it all worked out yet? Am I totally there? No, because until everyone is in vibrational frequency, we can't have it all. But that is the point. That is why we all have to come up into vibrational frequency. So every day that in relationship, we allow these triggerings that are going on to cause us to look at ourselves and say, hold on, what is the lesson here? Because the lesson for each of us in ourselves is the quantum leap for all of us. When we look at ourselves and say, okay, that triggered me. Nobody did anything to me. What is the lesson here for me? What do I need to look at here? Okay, let me dig down, do that. Let me do it quickly, because that's the quantum leap, not just for me, but for everyone.
Yes, for the collective.
For the collective. And then the world gets better, that utopia comes. My health gets better, that utopia comes. The relationships all get better, that utopia comes. And I always believed in that one. I never lost that one. I didn't, thank goodness.
Yeah.
So, and not that they were that way, but I still kept believing. You know, I still haven't given up believing that one. So, but yeah, so it really is all of these things, the world relationship, our health relationship, our relationships, you know, Absolutely.
And I'm glad you said that because, and that gets back into when we talk about the inner child, but start back believing in the possibility.
Yes.
Don't be afraid to believe that good things are going to happen. Don't be afraid to believe that you're meant to have this beautiful life. See, for so long, because the way our reality has shown us that, well, this is supposed to be this way, this is supposed to be that way. We have to learn how to live, and that's why I love Dr. Joe Dispenza, because the book that he wrote, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. You have to learn how to live outside of your environment and outside of what this everyday life is. You have to learn how to live above it. And that's why I always get into the energy of the birds, of flying above. When I see the world around me going in chaos, I get into this energy of tapping into the bird energy and flying above it and just seeing the bigger picture, seeing the beauty of it, arising above it, and just knowing that everything is working out in divine order. And that's the energy that we have to live in to embody this new energy of what we were really supposed to be embodying to begin with.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's finally us getting it. It's not new. It's us
It's not
getting the
new.
energy we're supposed to be in.
Yeah.
And what you just said is what we were talking about earlier, is that we're in this loop of, well, reality is this, and so I can't have what I want because reality is keeping me from it. But the point really is, no, you create your reality.
Yes.
And once you accept that, by what do I want to feel? What do I want to be? What do I want to experience? Put that energy out, and then I create it. Once you accept that, then you have integrated that energy, and you have transcended because you integrated the energy. You have broken that loop that you were in.
Yes.
And that reality is no longer holding you back.
Yes.
That reality is no longer holding you back.
Yes.
It's no longer blocking you. It's no longer doing those things to you, because what you've done is you've said that's not my reality. You've pulled your energy from it.
Yes.
You've reframed that energy. You've put it back out at the vibrational frequency you want it to be in. So really all you've done is you've taken that reality.
Yeah.
Just like we say, release this, release that, progress from this, whatever. So it's the same thing. You've taken that reality, pulled the energy from it. You've decided for yourself, this is my energy. This is what I'm going to do with it. You've put it out there. It has no choice but come back to you that way.
Yes.
That is quantum physics.
Those are the laws of the universe. Yes.
That is universal law. That is sacred geometry. That is Archangel Metatron. That is law of attraction. That is Archangel Metatron for those who are into that. That is all of those things.
Yeah.
You know, that is Dr. Bruce Lipton, Dr. Joe Dispenza. That is it's all of those things. It's not either or, it's both and.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can't let your external environment determine your internal. Your internal environment is what's going to determine the external. So if your external is in chaos, you need to start looking on the inside what's internally going on in chaos. And once you start getting in tune with those energies and healing those energies and coming back to sovereignty over yourself, you will start to see the beauty in your life, the painting in your life started becoming more beautiful. The relationships, the money, the whatever else starts to just come. Everything starts to flow in play because you're in the flow. You're in the energy of flow.
And that is the very definition of victim mentality.
Yes.
You just said. And unfortunately, and here I go wanting to change the vernacular again, we throw out that phrase, you're in victim mentality. And people don't, the minute you say that, you make somebody feel bad about themselves.
Yeah.
And what you haven't explained to them is, what we're saying to you is, because people said that to me for so many years in a derogatory way, or made me feel like that.
Yeah.
And all they were saying to me was, because you're believing that to be so, that is the energy you are putting out. So it's self-fulfilling. You're propagating it yourself. You're just continuing that energy loop. But because we didn't teach, we are energy. If we will just start with, hey, I know you're just here. I just got you, and you're brand spanking new, and I love you, and we're going to teach you ABCs and all of that stuff when you get old enough to even know. You can hear me and see me, and all your senses are in play right now. So the first thing I want to say to you is, one, I love you, your unconditional love, your divine
Yes.
love, but your energy.
Your energy. Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
we'll
yes,
just start with that.
yes,
Oh my God, girl.
yes. I'm glad you said that. I started getting my baby like the affirmation I have in my mirror that says I am God in 3D form. One of my affirmations. So when I do my affirmations in the mirror, look at it. I got him to start doing the affirmations as well too. So he'll look in the mirror, look at himself, and he'll say, "I am God in 3D form." So I'm getting him to realize his divinity. You are this magnificent energy. You are this conscious energy. And if we can let our children remind our children to hold that blueprint of what they are when they came here, then we will the generations to come, like you will see the beauty on earth.
There you go. There
Yeah.
you go. That is the key. That is the, we. It is going to be more difficult for us because we have all this unprogramming to do.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
yeah. But
Yeah.
if we just go ahead and start teaching them now who they are,
Yes.
what they are, and what that means,
Yes.
you are energy, and this is what energy is, and this
Yes.
is what everything being one means.
Yes.
Walk in that energy, live in that energy.
Yes.
Never be a victim. Never settle for this. Never da 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 da. And
Yes.
it's all okay, and it's
Yes.
going to be okay. And if you live from your heart space, you won't make a mistake.
Yes.
You know, if we're
Yes.
hot, girl, our retirement days are going to be golden.
Yes. Let me golden. I know. And the last part I wanted to talk about was, why does your twin flame, well, why do you seem to get triggered the most by your twin flame? Because like we just said, nobody can trigger us. We get triggered by, our own tone. So why does that seem to happen? Well, we know our twin is us. That we are one of the same. So when you're talking about energies that are so close in relation, so close in union, regardless of where you are in this physical reality, I'm not talking about the physical, I'm talking about your energy. When you're talking about that, you're going to be triggering, you're going to be the emotions, the wounds and things that are coming up are going to be much more powerful to feel. So they're going to feel like a personal attack towards you, but it's really not. It's really for you to start looking at yourself and start having sovereignty. So it's all about coming back to oneness with yourself.
Yeah.
That's what it's about.
Yeah, it is. It is another. It is actually again another opportunity for you to quantum leap, because instead of you just having yourself to look at, you've got yourself and yourself.
Yeah.
You've got yourself again.
Yeah.
You know, so, and not just that, but you've got yourself to also love yourself again, because and so you've got it's all exponential again.
Yeah.
You know, you've got your exponential self and your exponential self, and then so it's an opportunity to get better, faster, and then to live an exponential life.
Yes.
On a higher level.
Yes.
Because in such a high vibrational level.
Yes.
So your twin doesn't trigger you more. You're triggered more because you're looking into two mirrors of yourself instead of just one.
You said it well.
You've got twin mirrors of yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. You've got mirrors of yourself. You're seeing yourself.
Yeah.
And so don't be, if you're pointing the finger and saying you're making me, well, no, it's the mirror.
Yeah.
It's you.
It's the mirror. Yeah. It's definitely the mirror.
Boy, yeah. Boy, can I see that. Boy, can I see that every time I point and say, hold on a second, never mind.
Never mind. Yeah.
Never mind.
Just use the mirror analogy. Let's just use the mirror analogy. And just use the mirror analogy like, okay, I'm pointing back at myself.
Never mind.
Never mind.
So how about the weather?
I know.
No, actually, no. It's best to go ahead and talk about it, though, because they're going to have such insight.
Yes.
Because it may not be exactly the same.
Yeah.
You know, maybe it's about your mom and maybe it's about their uncle.
Yeah.
Or, you know, maybe it's about your job, but it's about their family. Yeah. You know, so it's going to be, but there's going to be such similarity, and they're going to understand you in so many other ways so well that you're going to be able to help each other with it so much. Yeah. And you're going to do it in such a loving way because you love each other so much to begin with.
Yes.
That is the person to talk to about it.
Yes.
Yeah. Just like that's the person you want to run to with all the good stuff.
Yes.
That's the ideal person to run to with, well, guess what? I just did this again.
Yes. And this works, you know, I know a lot today we talked about when twins are here. But this channel is all about twin flames. It doesn't matter if your twin has passed on or not.
Yes.
But even if your twin has passed on, it's a lot of healing to be done there. Like we talked about another episode where the wound that me and Larry had about the child that passed away, and that I ended up, killing us or whatever in another past lifetime. That was a wound that we didn't really necessarily could heal when he was here. And he did the healing work on the other side, and I felt it in this reality, and I was able to transcend those energies and making that same decision. So the healing work is still going on, regardless if your twin is here or not. You all are still healing different aspects and coming back to union and whole with yourself.
Yes, because it's, and the word illusion is kind of the wrong word. Here I go again, want to change the words, because illusion is like it's not real.
Yeah.
It's real to us,
yeah.
But they're not gone.
Yeah.
In a different dimension.
Yeah.
And so they're not here for us to tactile.
Yeah.
Touch.
The tactile experience. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not the tactile experience with them. They have transitioned to the other dimension.
Yeah.
And so, but absolutely, you can still have those experiences with them where there's the mirroring that you can do, the healing you can do together. And much like I talk about with my son that has passed, that has transitioned. Yeah. Is he here for me to physically touch, for me to physically know? And in the physical, would I like that? Yes. But he's not gone. Yeah. And he's in this other dimension, and I can have just as much a relationship with him other than the tactile.
Yes.
And so there can still be the healing, there can still be the communication, there can still be all of those things. And so it's the same thing with the twin flame journey.
Yes, it is. It really is.
Yeah. Relationship is relationship, whatever kind it is. Yeah. Yeah. And so it can be that way too with a parent who has transitioned. It can be that way too, like with perhaps a job, a career that you transitioned out of, that, because I've done that, making peace with my own childhood choices, about the music and stuff, because the council, they're always like, and so what are you doing with music these days? Okay, we know what you're doing here, but so what about the downloads we're giving you with songs? Yes, I'm writing those too, because they won't let me step away from it. They're like, okay, you let that go once, you don't get to do that now.
It's a part of your blueprint.
Yeah, it's part of me. And so we don't get to do that. It's who we are. So it's not just about because our relationship, everything is energy. So the things we are supposed to do, the things we are supposed to be, those are energy too. So.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Okay, girl. Are we ready to talk about your I know you're going to be the one that they create the TikTok Grammy for. Are we ready to talk about that now?
Yeah, we get it. Yeah.
All right. So you're still in this competition in a type of way. So why don't we start with that, the competition?
So I'm still in the competition in a type of way. Right now, they're judging my content. When I first started the competition, I had over, I think, like 1,500 followers, leaders. Followers in quotations are really leaders. But now it's, I think, 27K. I think last time I looked, it was 27K. So they're watching the content I'm making to empower healers to take their power back and amplify their healing abilities to include themselves. And then also too, they sent me a text message and email the other day for me to, they're supposed to be sending out another link to start voting again. So when I get that link on the 9th, I will let you guys know to start voting again. But yeah, so they sent that out too. So it's still parts of the competition, but I'm still in there. They're still looking. So the game isn't over with.
Absolutely not. No, we're not down for the count, because we don't believe in those things for one thing.
No. So that's going on.
All right. So now this competition was exactly what's the competition for?
Okay, so it's for content creators to compete against themselves. And a lot of the organizations that they have, they picked up another organization, but they're all around. One was around mental health, the Jet Foundation.
Right.
I think the new organization they picked up is, I think, for cancer or something like that. So it's all for good causes. the proceeds, the $1 vote goes for all good causes. So I am down for that because that brings healing and transformation in other people's life, and especially with, like, I haven't personally dealt with cancer myself, but I do have people around me that has. And then, you know, my own mental health things that I've had to transmute and transcend. So yeah, so that's very much important to me.
Right. Okay. So by going over and catching these amazing TikTok performances, because they're stellar. Okay, they're educational.
Yeah.
There's no doubt. Okay, but these are like, okay, a lot of them are just educational, but you've got to go through all of them because they're not just all educational. And you'll be like, oh, that was good content. That was great content. That was educational. I learned a lot. Holy smokes, that was like a production. And when did she find time to do? When did she find time to do that? When did she find time to do that? Production. There's needs to be an award for that. So impressed, girls. So
thank you.
So for people who not everybody is familiar with TikTok. So
yes. So if you want to follow me on TikTok, you become one of the leaders on TikTok. My name is Gabrielle Twin Flame, and instead of the medium, it's a 4. And I'll leave it in the section on here as well. It's a 4. It's a plenty fake accounts out there that have been coming up as me. I have a post on my thing letting you guys know about the fake accounts. Don't follow them. They've already gypped some people out of money. Me personally, I would never inbox you asking you for a reading, to buy my services or anything. I put the content out there. I have the link in my bio. If you want to become a client of mine, for us to work one-on-one together, the link is in my bio. I have a lot of free information out there. I have premium content, and then I have my elite content. So when you get on my page, it's the real person. Anything else beyond that is scammers trying to get you.
There's a lot of that. That's what I found. The second I start following someone on TikTok, I get caught with that same person, number 53, number 89. So there's a lot of that going on there. So people need to be aware of that, but it's worth it because they're just, but it is different. It's different than like YouTube or the other stuff, but it is, you're doing such, like I'm saying, I would not say that the other social media I've been on that there's going to be an award category for it. The stuff you're doing on TikTok, girl, I just, I'll go back and I'm like, hold on a second, because you have to, it flips, you know, so I back and I'll just keep watching, and I'm like, and it only lets you heart it like one time, so it goes off when you hit it, and I'm like, oh, how do I do this? How do I like it more than once? Because it's very entertaining, and so it'll be, we can vote for you again. But so if we put like a comment, if we've already followed you on TikTok and we're already hit the heart, if we comment and that type of thing, does that help you on TikTok?
Yes, it does. Yeah. So to help me on TikTok, commenting, liking, sharing the videos. But another thing too for the algorithm is to watch the videos throughout the whole thing. Because when you just go through videos and just spam like and don't watch the videos, that puts you on shadow ban in TikTok. And shadow ban is when they don't show your content to enough people. So you want to make sure, if you're following me or anyone else, make sure that you watch the videos in its entirety, to make sure that person doesn't get, I think it's like, if the video is like 3 minutes, I think it's probably like, if you watch it to up 2 minutes or something like that, you know. But yeah, because when people just go through and just like, TikTok is picking it up, the algorithm is picking it up as, you know, just spam. So they will put you into that category. So making sure you watch the videos completely, and then you're learning stuff too while you're watching them as well. So it's for your benefit as well.
Absolutely, you are. Absolutely. Content is always good. It's always there, whether you're walking, whether you're, the content is always good. But you're like, content, good content, great content, great content. Holy smokes. That's Academy Award stuff there. Grammy, Academy Award. How did you come up with this?
So, you know, sometimes it just be like, I just be in meditation, or I just be doing something. I be washing dishes in that theta frequency and get a download, write it down, then I'll go do it. It just be like.
Well, I haven't been getting as many phone calls from you, and so I've been like, "Well, I'm missing Gabrielle," and then I get the little ding, you know, because it sounds like TikTok. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
So I'll go, "Oh, there's Gabrielle. Now I know why she's not calling me." And there you are on TikTok, and I'm like, TikTok stole my friend.
I know, that's what everyone is like. You can't really. I'm like, I'm telling you, when you're building a brand and you're building a brand that means a lot, that is here to bring healing on this planet. I put so much work. I wake up from morning into night. Have a family too. I have a baby. To make sure I spend time with him and make sure I keep myself in in coherence to be able to do this work.
That takes so much
Yeah,
time.
yeah, it does. It does. But it's so worth it. I love it. Like I wouldn't change it for anything in the world.
Because that is the most important relationship. And that is a great way to circle back to what
Yeah.
this is. For those who do this, and one of the questions was, why is it seem that healers, their relationships are, it's so hard? It's because we have to spend so much time staying in right relationship with self. And so many of them feel like, well, I have to be alone. Or creative types feel like I have to be alone, because it takes so much time
Yeah.
to stay in right relationship with self to do this. But the truth of the matter is that time is so you can be exponential with self,
Yeah.
and then be in relationship with others, and then you're even more exponential.
Yes. Yes.
Because this time you're putting into self, it doesn't reach the world unless you're in relationship with other people.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you isolate yourself, you will only be able to generate that content for so long.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you know that. You know that. But so many people don't get that.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
only heal for so long if we isolate ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
Only produce content for so long if we isolate ourselves. We
Yeah.
are not meant to isolate ourselves. We're meant to be uniquely
Yeah.
ourselves in relationship.
Yes. That brings it back to full circle.
All right, girl. As always, Twin Flame Tuesday, my favorite day of the
I
week.
know. And then we have the compilation. And also, before we get to the compilation, and I'll leave the link in the bio as well. My blueprint for your walking into your power coaching program is still open right now. I only take 8 people at a time. Once that window closes for 8 weeks. Once that window closes, it closes until another 8 weeks, because the first 8 weeks we do a lot of deep transformational healing work. You know, you've been through the program,
Yeah,
trauma work, all kind of stuff. Yeah.
yeah, mirror work, and
Yes.
oh yeah, yeah. I tell people say I don't have a mirror. So you got a cell phone, open
Yeah.
it up.
No.
I did it the other day to someone. I said, open up your cell phone.
Yeah.
Put
Yeah.
it on selfie mode. And they're
Yeah.
like, what? And I said, now say. And they're like, holy smokes.
Yeah.
I said,
Yeah.
now there, don't tell me again you can't do mirror work.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, yes, yes. So so the link will be in the bio for all my services and everything. And tell them about the compilation, because we still have the compilation going on.
Yes, we do. We are still taking authors for the compilation book, of course, for the Twin Flame compilation. It is so much more than being in a compilation book, because Gabrielle and I, we will coach you, and we will coach you about energy management. We will make sure that you not only tell your Twin Flame journey, but you come out of it with what you want it to be, the energy management. You define your role in this. Do you want to just tell the story? Or do you want to have a career from it? Do you want to do the book signings and all of those things? Maybe all you want is just for people to know you wrote a book. Or maybe you want to be a public speaker. Maybe you want to teach courses. Maybe you want to do what we're doing now. We're going to help you figure out how to do those things. And of course, how to promote yourself. And then we're going to promote. So it's going to be, you're going to get the coaching. You're going to get, there's so much you're going to get from doing this. It is just so much more than just being in a compilation book that is going to do very well. You're going to grow, and compilation books take a year or so, sometimes longer, to put together, because you got to corral all the authors and then go through the process. And we are going to go through the process the right way. So yeah, Twin Flame compilation book, and I'm really want to get this out there, because I know the Twin Flame community needs the stories, but we're not going to rush it.
Yeah.
It's going to go out. It's going to go out the right way.
Yeah.
And so yeah, and also, speaking of rebranding, all of my stuff will start showing up soon in the middle of a nonprofit, ACASA.
Yeah.
And I know some of your stuff is going to be showing up in ACASA.
Yeah.
And so I'm very excited about that. End of June, first part of July, that'll be showing up. So I'm very excited about that nonprofit showing up. And so, yeah, just all kinds of great stuff going on in our world, because we are open to relationship first and foremost with ourselves, and then we put the energy out there.
Yeah. Yes, and it comes back to you.
Back to you, girl. And it comes back on Tuesday mornings, all smiles and laughing and all of this. And the birds chirping.
I know.
So take us out, Gabriella.
Peace and love from me, my twin flame, my spirit guys. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful day.
All right, everyone. Bye.